What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Chinami. It's the Chinami time with the Bitchling clan. Da-da-dan. So, today, Bitchlings, we have kind of this kind of video where I want to say, like, this shit that I'm about to say, girls and boys, is my own opinion. Don't get a big rock sideways up your butt because of this video. These are just my own opinions, and I understand that there are many different opinions, and mine is not the only way to do things. So just get your panties untwisted. Okay, so today's video is going to be a little bit of an witchy video, and we're gonna talk about magic and how to do good magic, basically, like how to make your magic actually work. And I've talked about this a little bit, but I'm going to go also into like how not to get bad karma back. And yeah, because I just think that that's very important, and also protecting yourself and things. So this is kind of like how to do magic well so you don't fuck up, okay? So yes, so anyway, I've done magic and it's been successful, and I've a couple of times fucked it up where it hasn't been that successful, or I've gotten a return that hasn't been exactly what I wanted, but it was my own fault. So I want to kind of give you these cautionary tales and kind of what I've done with my magic and how it worked. So I'm gonna tell you my stories, two of these. One of the things where it worked really great out and where it didn't. And let's see what's in them. So the first thing that was one of my most successful, well, there were two very successful spells that I did. One of them was to get a little bit more money to get to the end of the month, and the other one was me getting a permanent job for the first time in my life, and I did this spell to get the job I wanted, my dream job, and I did get it, and I did get the money. So what you want to keep in mind is every time you have a very selfish, like extremely selfish goal, and you are getting greedy, a few things to remember is that every time you take something from the universe, like you take money, for example, like you ask for money, you need to be wary that it comes from somebody else's pocket. Every time you get more money, somebody else gets less money. And this is the balance of the universe, so you need to be careful not to exhaust it, and careful not to ask more than you actually need, because if you ask all the time, it's gonna create an imbalance, and you know what's gonna happen? You're gonna be a lot poorer at some point, because that's gonna be balancing basically your life, and that's what I've noticed. So let's see where this goes. Anyway, the first spell was a money spell that I did, and I was thinking, like, I could have asked, like, give me a fucking $1 million, please, but no. I just asked enough to be able to pay my bills, maybe next month be a little bit tighter with my budgets to be able to, like, start my life. And I asked it because I wanted to start saving up for psychologist, so I would become better, so healthier. So I asked the money just to kind of like keep myself healthy, because in the long run that would also make me more useful to other people, and I could help more people when I'm healthy myself. So even though I was asking a selfish thing like money, I made sure to explain why I wanted that amount of money, and I made sure to ask only what I needed. So enough money for a little bit of food, and to pay my rent, and to pay my bills, basically. And what happened was that I wrote it down, and I really did my research about it, like, so it's to the T, because you want your spell to be exact. You want it to be exact enough so it doesn't go wrong, and I'm gonna tell you how my other spell kind of went wrong because of that. So I wrote it down like exactly like I said, like I only want enough money to be able to like pay my bills and things like that, and I wrote them into the like spell like really specifically, and that helps the universe to give you the kind of thing that you actually want and need, because if you are being unspecific, the universe is gonna like send you whatever basically. So I managed to get some money because of a counting error. There had been a counting error and I got money at the end of the week. So that worked out great. The next thing was the career spell, and I did that too, and I asked it because it was something that would also help me to build myself into a healthier person, because I could have some stability in my life that I couldn't have before, and I could also be of service to my boyfriend and use to him when I would be able to bring us enough money to make us food and things like this. So it wasn't completely selfish, and I wanted to be undependent on my parents. So it wasn't it was selfish in a way, but it was also unselfish. So most of the spells that you do, you want to think of that, at least in my opinion. That is a one way to balance out the karma, because you are also giving while you are getting. So that's kind of like one of the ways to keep it in balance, to only ask for things that are going to benefit others too, and only ask as much as you absolutely need to. The next thing is you want to do the spells only for the things that you absolutely have to. If I want a Nutella sandwich, I'm not gonna do a spell for it. I'm gonna walk to the store and buy Nutella and sandwiches and make a Nutella sandwich, because that's something I don't need, but I want it and I can fucking walk. So don't use magic for something that you can do otherwise, because that's unbalanced. If you can do it, why would you like every time you use elements you waste resources basically, and every time you ask for divine help, it's gonna also be taking something. So I would advise not to do it unless you have to. Now I'm gonna tell you how my spell backfired on me. So I didn't know how to get better from an eating disorder, and that's a big thing, getting free from a big illness. That's gonna be a big powerful spell, and it's gonna take a lot of mojo to pull that shit off, and you need to be specific, which I wasn't. And this is where it gets kinda wrong turn. So I made a spell and I was thinking, okay, I don't know how to get better. I don't really want to do the work. That's a bad start for a spell. If you really want to get better, try to get better well. And I wanted to make a spell to get rid of my eating disorder. So I just wrote this kind of like a little bit kind of like roundabout Spellwork, where I left the universe like basically like I just want to get better. Okay, I wasn't so unrespectful, but you get the gist of it. So I was like, okay, I just want to get better, and I don't know how that's gonna happen, but I would love it to happen. So basically I left it out, like I just want it to happen fast, and please do it. And what I got as a result was a understanding of like trauma logs from after the spell, like trauma logs just exploding out of my head. And I fucking understood so many things that I was like Faust in the story. You know Faust, the person who looked back to get all the information, and then he went crazy because he knew so much at that time. Like, that's a really cool story. Look it up. But anyway, so I was like Faust, basically, guys. So I got to know way too much, way too early. It fucked me up. It fucked me up, girl. So leaving the universe that much room to work, and the demand to get it done fast, something as big as that, something that has been bugging me for 10 years, and I wanted it under the wraps in 1 month. You need to think about, is it even realistic what's gonna happen, because it's gonna backfire like this. So I got a fucking mental breakdown a little bit. Like, straight up 1 week I got so sick, I had fever, flu, everything, and I was 1 week so sick I couldn't get out of the bed because I had been so stressed about this trauma unlocking that my body just said, nope, we're not gonna do this, you're gonna rest. So you need to be really specific about what you want, otherwise there might be consequences like this. And also be reasonable. I wasn't being reasonable. I should have done something else, like not something as big as that, in my opinion. Plus it was a very selfish wish to do that, like, and it takes up a lot of energy, so it's no wonder. Like, healing spells take a lot of energy, especially if you're healing something as long term like that. So I'm not at all surprised that my body gave in, and my mind was about to crack. So I'm crazy, but I'm not that crazy, you know. So those are 2 cautionary tales of what not to do. Be specific. Don't ask the moon from the sky. Don't be a fucking